Okay. I am here today with RK, the real estate agent, Roland, the young,
What's up?
great agent here. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, dude. It's a busy day. I can't
Yeah,
complain.
yeah, very busy day. Well, it's good to see you, man. So you just switched offices, so we are no longer in the same office. How's the transition going with that?
That's what makes it busy. I'm happy. Sometimes you just have to have a change of scenery.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's we're excited to be a little bit closer downtown and start a new place.
Yeah, it's funny. I was reading something the other day and it said, a lot of times in life you come to a point where to keep growing, you have to change your environment and everything. And so
Oh
it
yeah.
seems like y'all got to that point to really push your business to another level, and change your environment and just do some new things with it. So,
Oh yeah. Anywhere in life,
yeah,
business, your own personal life,
yeah,
people got to move. So
yeah.
that's what we're here for.
They do got to move. I agree with that, man. So, yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about that. So, your kind of journey or story is similar to mine. You went straight out of college into real estate without having, any kind type of salary job or any kind of guaranteed income, just similar like I did and everything. So, I wanted to ask you about
Mhm.
that. How was your first year in the business? How's the transition from college to, I don't know if you worked in college or not, but just going into a very cutthroat
Mhm.
job because you and I are in one of the most competitive real estate markets in the country. Actually, we got around
Yeah.
40,000 agents here in Houston alone, which is I know is pretty much the same as LA. They have like 40,000 agents there too, which is I think we're kind of battling them for the most competitive market in the country. So, but yeah, man, just give us a rundown of your journey and how it was that first year and
Sure.
struggles you went through and everything, just like that. So,
Of course. My journey's a little bit different from yours. I didn't graduate college, and with a reason. So I was going to college for accounting, and whenever I started, the first job that I had, first like real job, not like server, delivery boy, all that stuff, everything that we've done. I was actually an assistant to a broker when I was 18
okay.
over in Sugarland. And I just wanted an office job that would look good on paper, so that way they'd be like, oh, he wasn't a server, he did something else. Um, Kind of fell in love with it. And my broker, Joni, shout out to Joni Caskey with the Caskey Realty. She helped me get my license. She said, hey, you have the knack for this. And I believe when I was about 21, I got my license, and I thought to myself, I really like this job. I really like this as a career, and maybe I could just pursue this. I was paying for college by myself, no financial aid. I didn't want any debt, nor did I get a scholarship. So I was thinking, all right, I'm throwing a couple $1,000 away for something that I already have a license for, and I'm most likely going to get into. So big gamble. It was a big gamble. But the decision to really go full time in real estate and forgo college was mainly because of how much I love the game that real estate is, sales, and helping people build wealth, creating different chapters on other people's lives, and it felt like it was something that was a true calling to me.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, I'd agree with. I think we have some similarities there and some differences too.
Mhm.
Definitely. So, how was that first year? Would you say when you first got into real estate? Your first 3, 6, 9 months. How was that for you?
It was tough. It was tough. I was paying for a mortgage. That was my only debt, and I had roommates helping me pay for my mortgage, so it helped offset things. But I had a lot of expenses at the time, and diving into something that I wasn't getting paid for until I made a deal was really difficult. I don't think I had my first. So I started in like March 2015, and I didn't get my first closing until November that year.
Oh
And
wow.
so, yeah, I mean, in closing, I had some leases here and
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
but with leases, that's a couple $100. It helps keep things afloat.
Helps keep you going.
Um,
Yeah.
mhm. And it was tough. I was actually working part time as at a restaurant
Yeah.
uh, to just kind of offset things, and doing little things here and there. I taught at a dance studio to just keep things afloat as I tried to grow the business because at 21 years old, you don't really have many friends that are buying houses.
No, you don't.
Um, at all, really. So it was tough. That first deal was great, but I mean, it took like 6, 7 months to really get there. And as soon as it did happen when I was a solo real estate agent, I felt like, oh, $10,000, that's a lot of money. Like I've never seen that big of a check in a long time. But then it disappeared so quickly because I don't think my next deal was until like February the next year. So it was slow. It was slow and it was tough. And I had to pick up a bunch of odd side jobs here and there, wonder where who's going to help. And I even had to ask my parents for help sometimes. And I know people don't have that luxury. Um, but this is, for me, it felt that it was soon to come. You know, my business and deals and transactions and clients were going to be coming soon, and I just had to stick it out until I was at a level where I built a strong enough business where I could completely be comfortable uh, making a full career out of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And yeah, I definitely got some similarities with that too. I know my
Mhm.
first 6 months were rough coming to a new city, and
Yeah,
I came at a very interesting time too. I came right after Hurricane Harvey's when I
yeah.
moved to Houston. So yeah, there was kind of like a dark cloud over the city at that point because all I knew of Houston was post Harvey Houston. I didn't know pre Harvey Houston at all. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, thankfully, meeting you and some other guys, our office like Kai and all them, gave me great guidance, helped me get through that first year to get some closings under my belt and everything, help keep me going,
Mhm.
everything. So yeah, let's dive into what you do besides the traditional real estate of representing people when they buy and sell properties. You also do some wholesaling and flipping properties as well. Let's dive into that
Mhm.
because I don't really know too many agents that do that as well. I know some do it. I guess you would think a lot of us do it, but I don't really know
Right.
besides yourself and maybe not even five others, maybe just like two or three others beside yourself that do that while they're an agent as well. So yeah, just dive into that
Mhm.
and kind of tell us, how you do that and everything. Give us an overlay how that works.
Yeah, definitely. I I had a pretty big passion for the investment side of it, and which is actually one of the big reasons that I wanted to get into real estate in the first place is because there were these books that I had read when I was younger, and you probably already know them. So Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I was like, I read these books when I was like 13,
Mhm.
and so like Rich Dad Poor Dad, and a couple of not that old, but a couple of Grant Cardone books, Napoleon Hill. And so one of the core things with all of these guys and all of these popular and influential businessmen of the past is the core was real estate investment, building wealth through real estate. And I felt that, hey, if I'm going to be rich, if I'm going to take my family to the next level, uh, building that through real estate is a big thing. So there were a lot of resources that I just dove into. Now, myself, I'm not, the biggest real estate investor, uh, but right now I have three rental properties. I just finished a flip, um, actually in the past couple of weeks. So we closed like 3 weeks ago. And wholesale, if people don't know what that is essentially selling and assigning contracts. Uh, that's a whole different story, but there's a ton of pieces of real estate investment that I've really taken to heart and utilized in my business and my personal life, and it's gone pretty well. I have residual income. It's not to the level where I can completely quit my job, but it's to the level where I can get a couple of $100 for things here and there. And like you said, not many agents themselves are familiar with investment, which is surprising to me because it's what drove me to be real estate industry. So I thought everyone was similar, but what typical real estate agents do is the retail market, and then when you look at the secondary and the wholesale market, it is like a completely different beast. Like there's this big giant wall in between that a lot of agents don't cross because a lot of the things that are typical in this side of the business are completely the opposite on this side. So it's been a fun ride, and I do encourage a lot of people to do that. I have one analogy that I like to use and tell real estate agents, right? So if you work for a large corporation and you have the inner workings of where that business is going, where your company's going, who's going to buy this one out, what your earnings are before the statements are out. Typically, that would be called what? Insider trading. If you were to trade your own stock, in real estate, we can see behind the curtain. Yet there are no real big laws of saying, "Hey, you can't invest in here because you're a real estate agent." So why not, right?
Yeah.
You know what's behind the curtain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely an advantage, we have, I guess, over other investors per se. We can see exactly what house is sold by per square foot and price and everything.
Hmm.
While as those that don't have access to information can't see that. Everyone can see what the house went under contract for, but in terms of see
Hmm.
what it actually sold for, only we can see that information.
Hmm.
So, yeah, we definitely have the insider info there for the benefit. So, awesome, man. And then, yeah, just to wrap things up, yeah, like I said, we both had a fairly young age, and we when we were in the same office, you and your partner kind of did really well, and I'm sure y'all will continue to do well in your new office as well. But just yeah, give us a little look on your business. What do y'all do to stand out, or what do y'all do to have the success that you've had so far in the past, and just really make it stand out among the other agents out there?
Yeah, no. So a couple of things that we do to set ourselves apart or aim to set ourselves apart is a lot of people see this as a negative, but it's being young
It
and
helps.
flipping that to
Yeah.
right. People are like, "Oh, you're too young. You don't have enough experience." If you flip that perspective and say, "Well, I am young. I don't have kids. I don't have other engagements. I can wake up at 5 a.m. And work till 10 p.m." So we set ourselves apart as that hustler. That our business is our baby. We don't have kids right now, right? It'll
Yeah.
probably change later. So that's one thing that sets ourselves apart, as well as we've grown up with new technology, and we're always taking a look and analyzing new systems and technology that can help our clients the best. Whereas a lot of people are set in traditional ways, which
Yeah.
still work. However, technology is supposed to make that more efficient and make the process a lot easier for our clients. So that's one, two, and then one that I already talked about, looking at things from an investment perspective. Even if you are buying for yourself personally or selling your own home so that you can move, real estate is an investment one way or another. And so to be able to analyze it in a very comprehensive way where most people look at it from the surface, that's where we're able to set ourselves apart to really see how we can help our clients build wealth in an appropriate way or avoid investments even if it's our own home purchase that can hurt them 3, 5, 7 years down the line.
Okay. Awesome. I got you. And yeah, I would say one last thing that sets y'all apart too is y'all's work ethic as well. Because I know we've done some things in the past, worked together just to get business, and
Hmm.
worked on contracts together. Just we've done a lot of things together, kind of in the past in the same office and everything. So I just always see all their grinding and not taking any breaks. Just it's the same way I run my business, and allows me to have some success and continuous closings and everything.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that really helps y'all as well. And yeah, like you said, not having the kids to worry about or anything. We're able to
Yeah.
weird hours. I know I'm working past 5 and usually past 6 o'clock every night as well. On the
Yeah.
weekends too. So
That's the life. I mean, on that point, I have this right here on my desk that kind of goes to it. I don't know if it's mirrored, but Grits.
yeah,
Have you read it, Dre?
I have not.
Or listen
I
to
have not.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing book. It's just an analysis of what can set a lot of people apart. And it's by Angela Duckworth, the psychologist that studied this intangible called grit. Um, Essentially, what it is just what people define as hustle, what people define as a mentality to not fold in the face of adversity. And regardless of how smart you are, regardless of how much experience you have, the ones that rise to the top are the ones that have that grit mentality. And
Mhm.
so I keep it. I have the audiobook. I listen to it pretty often.
Yeah.
And I always keep that to heart that no matter what, it's hard work beats talent. So having that work ethic really will set anyone apart in any industry.
Yeah, I definitely agree. In this business, you'll definitely face adversity, and
Mhm.
quite a bit of it too. So yeah, you got to have
Yeah.
that work ethic to get past that, especially when you first start out and you have all these things coming at you, and you're like, how do I write this offer? How do I write this contract?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what's this agent talking about? so
Mhm.
so yeah, well, awesome, man. Well, that'll wrap us up for today. I
Cool.
appreciate you joining me here, man. It's
Of
great to get some
course.
insight and everything
Thanks for
from
having
you.
me, man.
Yeah, man, a young hustler in the real estate business. I always enjoy talking to you, and I wish you and Kai the best luck in y'all's new office over there.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Take care, dude.
Yes, sir. All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah.